Most people who live here are either like just out of college or like newly entering this like adult world and doesn't really know like what they want out of it yet.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have a set mind as to what they want to, like what kind of career they want to go into. Definitely are not the type to think about like wanting to own a home and start a family and etc. So like that's the type of person this place attracts really. And I think that's just like inherently so. People who are like, oh yeah, I could live in a co-op or I could live with 18 other people, like are those that have either recently done it because they're students and they like recognize that like it's doable, or they're people who want like more connection than living on their own, and like more opportunity for socialization. So I think like that plays into the transient element of it. And so people I think often will move in here for one reason that later becomes like no longer present in their lives. Like they moved in here because they're not sure what they want to do, for example. So they move in here and maybe a year later they decide that they do want to do this thing, and so they're likely to then like jump on that and move out and begin the next phase. But it adds like an element of definitely like here you feel like the constant change is something that is necessary to adapt to. Like you constantly have to be I guess accepting of the fact that your housemates are likely to change super often, and how that impacts like your livelihood here is something that is interesting to adapt to. Like I recognize when I am really attached to a housemate that moves out, how the vibe or like connections amongst the housemates like shifts in one way or another. And I think we all like kind of recognize that, but we just, I think just to learn to adapt to it, which I think is kind of really nice because change is always constant and not often are you like forced to do it like you are here, I feel.
Cool.